how did it evolve from singing, dancing, acting into producing and directing?
This is a question I think about a lot, actually. And it's because a dear, very, very, very dear, dear, dear friend of mine who is no longer with us, is the reason why I continue to stay in this world. And even when I was doing my education, side plan, if you will, this person, Cam Clark, always encouraged me to stay true to my passion and always fight for what I want and be creative and continue to be creative. And when we were doing our second movie together, which he was the one that was spearheading that, he told me, you should be a director one day. You would be really good at this. And I was like, you're funny. That's never happening. I have no desire. I don't want anything to do with it. And he was like, okay, that's fair. That's fair. I'm just saying, one of these days, you would be a really good director. You should really consider it. And he was never pushy about it. He would remind me every once in a while, just like kind of poking fun to be like, you sure you don't want to be a director? Are you sure? And I always told him I was so adamant that I never wanted to do it ever. And in late 2018, 2019 timeframe, I had met with this other creative in Pittsburgh on a separate project that he was doing. And he had sent me his script and we went through it. And I was giving him all these notes and stuff like that at the time. And he was like, I'm looking for a director. Would you maybe want to consider doing it? And at the time, I was still kind of like, I don't really know. Like, directing's not really for me. But the longer that I was like on this project, I was like, okay, wait, I know so much about this now. I feel like this is like a baby of mine at this point. So I was like, I'm going to take you up on your offer. Are you still okay with that? And he was like, yes, 100%, of course. And so I messaged my friend, and I was like, you're never going to believe it. I was like, but I'm directing my first feature. And he was like, oh my God. He was like, first off, congratulations. And then secondly, you decided to go all in and do your first directorial project as a feature film. And I was like, yeah, might as well go big or go home, right? And he was like, I told you. He was like, I told you that you were going to be a director. And I was like, listen, we're just not going to talk about that, okay? But he is very much the reason why I felt confident enough to be able to kind of step into this position. And then obviously aided by amazing creatives along the way. My first feature film was rough. As a first time director, I think I was like 23, 24. I was a child, honestly. And having very little to no directorial experience before that, it was a huge learning curve, learning opportunity in every sense of the word. And earlier I had mentioned communicating is such a big part of like being able to run a solid set and, getting along with everybody. I did not know how to communicate at that time. I had no idea how to communicate appropriately at that time. I thought that I had to come in and, me being a female director too, there was already a lot of pressure on me at that point. So I thought I had to like prove myself. And I definitely did not go about things the way I should have gone about things in some circumstances. And then there's other parts of it that I'm very proud of. So I'm very grateful for that opportunity, to that creative who asked me to be the director on the film, and to Cam Clark, who always continued to support me no matter what path I decided to take, knowing my potential more than before I really knew my potential. So bless him. I hope he is doing well in the heavens above.